and also the final Q&A. Like I already said, the power of AI in aqua feed milling and feed monitoring. Again, I would like to welcome on stage with a big round of applause, Mr. Dejan Miladinovic.
Thank you very much. It's such a great honor and opportunity to talk about AI and feed technology. Just imagine, just like 20 years ago, if somebody would just say, AI and feed technology will come in the same sentence. The power of AI in feed milling in general and feed monitoring, except, of course, the obvious businesses that we have seen so far, I have to say that AI is used in aquaculture, and aquaculture is an agricultural subset for monitoring fish behavior, and that is even published at the beginning of or in the middle of the pandemic. Well, we already have known, there are some publications that AI-powered technology really gets to a complete understanding of a farmer, what is the health of their soil, and when this certain plant, one single plant, needs certain amount of required amount of water. Nevertheless, there is a very recent publication published now in January, which is saying that AI can really protect the agricultural business from cyber attacks. And this is actually getting more and more very important aspect of agriculture in general and aquaculture as its subsets. Of course, when we are talking a bit about AI, basically we are talking about sensors which are reading certain behavior or which are measuring certain chemical composition, measuring temperatures, pressures, all these kind of things, creating enormous amount of data. So now imagine, I don't know how to do the programming. I know to get the data, put the data in my software for statistics, and then I'm expecting that software will give me the results that are correctly calculated so that I can present these results further on. It's really actually a good example where you have scarecrows right now equipped with ultrasonic emitters to repel different pests. And then the collection of these data, the big data crunching will just give you the exact frequency for certain pests. Then if you have a problem with that pest, you'll have a scarecrow with certain setting, which is performing best for that particular pest. So why do we need AI in feed production? And why exactly? Why now? Well, basically, the technology trigger has already passed a long time ago, and then there was this tremendous inflated expectation and the curve of learning and the curve of complete disappointment by the knowledge and by the equipment and the data we are having. But now we are getting this, at least agriculture is getting to this slope of enlightenment, and obviously, hopefully, we will come to this very fast flow of productivity. And this kind of curve, this hype curve, how do they call it? It's not just for this industry. This is happening everywhere. This has been happening with the introduction of modern aeroplanes and the sensors and different ideas throughout the world. So when we are talking about this AI in general and slope of enlightenment, we can't just say that it's a collection of data, and this collection of data is so obvious so that we can understand quite well what is happening. Of course, the AI can do amazing things for us within this entire forest of AI or data, but we have to really know what are we searching for. So that's why where this data, which is kind of giving you predictive analytics and answering certain questions with, in our case, as an example, optimization of feed materials. And for whatsoever we talked in these last 2 days is actually providing us an idea, okay, how the AI can help us, how the gathering of all these data could give us the achievement of optimized, perfect condition for producing optimized diets that will have all necessary nutrients for an animal, and how animals will behave, especially aquatic organisms, when you will give this single valuable pellet. Of course, except targeted formulations and the raw ingredients that we are aiming for feed processing, and that's where Michel came with his wonderful presentations. Of course, animal growth is and can be followed by AI, analyzed, and then you could predict the production goals for a certain animal farm species, which is underwater, and by their behavior and the production capabilities with all these processing parameters for that diet, you will understand a little bit better what is happening. I just mentioned in a Q&A session, so I mentioned that there is 24/7 production facilities which are dealing with microorganisms as a raw material for aquatic feed diets. So basically what and how do they run this factory? They are running this 24/7, of course, robotically. Robotic automation helps a lot, but human touch is also very important. When we are talking about AI, and of course, when we are talking about HACCP, hazard analysis of critical control points, as well as good manufacturing practices, GMP, then the traceability of the feed raw materials, it's much easier. The life is much easier with AI, because then you understand the entire circle of the raw ingredients, soil that this raw ingredient is produced, and further on, how it is processed in order to get to the diet. There are so many examples for agriculture right now and the AI. I'll just give you actually quite nice, very plastic explanation how AI could be productive. So imagine now you have as in Norway, you have a potato field, lots of potatoes everywhere. And then somebody notices there is this bug that loves potato. So what normally you would do, you would just like get yourself an insecticide and you'll spray the entire field. But now the AI can read and know exactly with the drone which plant is having this particular insect. And then this drone will come just over that particular plant and it will spray on it what is required to be free of that particular insect. Then when you are looking at the muddy waters of shrimp farming, you'll have also kind of a small submarine, which can be a drone. And when you throw away the certain diet, then you can follow up exactly what is happening with the fish, with the shrimp, sorry. So that you will understand, analyze the data, and then make a decision whether you're going to use this diet or you will change the diet. Those are, of course, predictive analytics. So what is the value of AI in general for our case regarding feed processing is, of course, to get this historical data in real time, to assemble them with the new data, and to make the changes very fast. Before, some years ago, we were capable to do that, but we needed the manpower, tremendous manpower, to check the data, to analyze the data, and get the answer. Today, with artificial intelligence, this is a little bit different, and within this entire forest of data, we can't say a mess of data because it's not a mess, it's systemized data. You can bring the outcomes that are requested or projected. We could follow the trends in the feed mill, and then at the farm, you would know exactly when the message will convey further on back to the feed mill so that the ordering will happen, and then the feed mill will be able to make a purchase, an order to their suppliers too. So this is, you would say, process of automation. Well, this process of automation could go really instantaneously, very fast. Because AI, right now, what you need for good formulation, first of all, you need an educated nutritionist, somebody who knows what's the linear programming and how to use linear programming, to know the entire chemistry of ingredient, and to know how to blend this chemistry in order to get optimized nutritional feed. So AI models, they can analyze the prices, they can analyze the growth rates for that particular combination of ingredients, and then further on, it will give you the projection of market demand for that particular feed formulation that you want to optimize. Then further on, it's a scheduling of production, it's a inventory, it's a maintenance control, all these kind of things that normally we would think in a feed production. I'll just give you another example. Very recently, we have at the university, we have patented a new mixing technology. And without AI, it would be very difficult and quite costly in order to get this ISDECA mixing technology in place and to claim that this is the best mixing technology that has ever existed so far, at least within the feed technology world. So what's really happening before we would produce this kind of prototype, what we did, we used artificial intelligence, also together with immersive technologies like different applications which are coming from the gaming industry to understand the dynamic of the machine and the dynamic of particles which are spread so fast that they can even accept 60% of humidity within this mixing mash, or in this case was soybean meal. Also, we used artificial intelligence and the data regarding nanocomponent as yttrium oxide in order to understand this distribution, in order to predict what is going to happen. Of course, the power of AI in aqua feed milling and feed monitoring is to predict the future basically best you can. It's not that machines are always, or artificial intelligence is perfect. I think that first of all, we humans, we are very far from perfect. Artificial intelligence also is a little bit better in making decisions because there is no this humane factor that makes the decision in a way, which could be sometimes good, sometimes bad. But what I really want to focus on is that the AI will optimize the traceability of raw material and that we would be able to understand exactly what is happening inside of our entire process. So that it will never happen again that the cucumber which came from Spain to Germany with salmonella on it was the fault of Spanish agricultural system, because the research has shown that actually salmonella was in German trucks. So you see, all these kind of things will be instantaneously understood by artificial intelligence. And honestly, this is how the future is going to look like. We like it or not, but the AI is going to be a wonderful tool, as a pellet press is now a wonderful tool, or the extrusion a wonderful technology too. What we want to do with the AI, we want to use it as a tool to optimize feed processing and delivery of finished feed to the farms in the form upon nutritional requested benefits for a farmer. So how do we do this? Well, basically, we need to collect the data, and constantly we will be collecting the data. You have heard so many stories about these new vaccines. There's a new technology which is quite valuable, and we have seen that this open innovation during pandemic has brought enough information to create something very valuable that can protect us humans from virological attacks. So the collection of data and understanding the data itself is of paramount importance when we are talking about AI and when we are talking about technology, specific mechanical energy, the control of steam, and everything that we have actually talked about. When we are having these large data sets and when we are having all these characteristics of ingredients that we are bringing to the table, by comparing them with the nutritional requirements and further on the performance that we are really having at the farm, you would be able to say that you have optimized the formula. Right now, we believe, nutritionists together with technologists, we believe that we are having perfect situation, perfectly balanced diet and so on. But I can't stress enough that nutritionists and technologists are still not speaking the same language. Still, it's a little bit problematic for a nutritionist to understand the technologies. And I will just give you a very simple explanation. We had a client and they wanted to have certain molecule inside of the cow feed. So when we were adding this molecule upon the desired percentage, the pellet press blocked. And you know, when you're doing science, it's very completely normal that this is going to happen. But then it blocked again, and then again, and again, 7 times. Then I had to say to my colleagues, okay, I think that we are enough for today. What we have to do now is actually to sit and read. So we found out what is happening, that when we are adding lots of mechanical energy in a pellet press, in a ring die, we are creating this very long chain. We are making a chewing gum. And that's why, of course, material doesn't want to work. But the scientific article was saying like 5% of this is the edge. We suggested to our client, who is nutritionist, it was very difficult for him to accept the fact that we have to change the entire experimental design. But then that worked. He was satisfied, happy. We were satisfied and happy. So generating these formulations with this common language is actually, in the case of AI, really a tool or a platform so that it would work as a kind of language translator nowadays. Because what you want to do, you want to see the data, to accept the decisions brought by AI, and then to say like, okay, maybe for a chicken diet or for a, I don't know, shrimp diet, I don't really need to have only this kind of pellets. Maybe I should have different types of pellets. Maybe I can just combine different things, different shapes, different nutritional value of a pellet. Because you want to improve the margins in the factory. And then, when we are talking about AI as a tool, first of all, we have to optimize the ingredient sourcing in order to really understand this complex supply chain. By using certain principles like Six Sigma or Lean or different strategies in a really very short time. Because in that way, AI will help us in the aquatic feed production to understand and to improve the transportation logistics, and to identify potential bottlenecks within the entire supply chain. Not to mention also the extrusion or pelleting process. And in that way, overall, we will be able to understand what is the value that the customer is actually requesting. If you want to learn some Norwegian language, there is here some Norwegian language, so you can also read. And then you want to create a value throughout the flow of process of this particular information that you are having. And then you want to be further on a company that is self-learning somehow. And not only self-learning from your own data, but using the other data to learn your organization, which is going to constantly train and learn not only the AI itself, but also the people who are working, staff that are working in the company. Because you want to understand, of course, the competitors, you want to understand the consumer trends, and you want to be able to analyze the market data very, very fast. So in order to identify all these things, AI is and will and potentially must be actually a power tool that will create these benefits. When we are talking about feed milling and research and development, AI will help advancing the feed formulations from novel ingredients that we talked today about to this very precise targeted nutrition, and then it will create this modeling that doesn't need to be any more linear modeling to optimize feed composition and the best possible outputs further on when we are talking about nutritional aspects. I am pretty sure that the AI is also part of sustainable feed production for a waste reduction, and then in the end, as an overall idea of sustainability, minimizing the environmental impact. I mentioned lean and I mentioned AGCCP and GMP and so on. So all of this is covering the feed safety and quality assurance. Well, we have to respect the law and regulation. And when we are having an idea or when we are having a picture of this entire process of a sourcing, manufacturing processes, monitoring, contaminants, potential mycotoxins or general toxins, you would be able to be one step beyond the feed safety and the quality assurance. Nevertheless, of course, when we are talking about this utilization of hidden data, and when you are connecting the power of analytics of artificial intelligence, you will further on bring these further opportunities to cost savings, first of all, efficiency gains, and then in the end, profitability in a really highly competitive feed milling industry regarding aquatic feed. There are some future trends, and this is, first of all, nanotechnology and the help of data within the topic of nanotechnology, and of course, alternative protein sources, as well as open innovation. And when I'm saying like open innovation, I really mean open innovation within personalized animal nutrition, targeted animal nutrition. Sometimes, of course, not sometimes, nowadays we are feeding laying hens. But maybe laying hens, they should have a name, they should have a code, because they have maybe different nutritional needs. So the AI will be able to gather the data and to say that the hen number 26 or something like that will have certain requirement that hen number 24 is having. Well, I'm sure that you also understand that there are pros and cons, and I will just say that cons, because we can agree that AI is a good tool and a good platform for potential, of course, challenges that we will reach in the aquaculture feed industry. But when we are talking about the cons, I can't stress enough the significance regarding the investment, software, training, and of course, accessing the data that you can use for operations, and especially for small producers, because small producers, they are having really very small data structure and potentially very low investment budgets. There is, of course, risk of error. AI also could create an error. And also we have to think about the ethical concern, which is related to data privacy. So all these things I would love you to consider when you are deciding upon whether you will get onto this bus of artificial intelligence in aquatic feed manufacturing. There are some key aspects. First of all, what I think that AI would really help us to do is to optimize the ingredient formulation, process automation and control, and then third, last but not least, of course, quality assurance and traceability of our materials and, of course, further on, diets. And all of this is really to keep keep the pace regarding sustainability in aquaculture, because that's the basic idea. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And we have some time for the questions that have been raised while the stage is prepared for the
Thank you.
Panel discussion that we will have at the end. All right, let's see, what do we have? This one.
Well, yeah, this is actually quite...
When could we expect a live animal count in shrimp or in fish ponds? Because it will really make it economical farming.
Well, the thing is that I really think that the real decision and complete answer regarding this economical farming of a shrimp by understanding how the shrimp functions is actually deriving together with the technology that we are putting in.
Yes.
So basically, if we are having a perfectly designed and sophisticated aquatic drones, I think that this 21st century is really very dynamic, and I think that this is going to happen. We are just talking about years here. We are not talking about decades.
No, I mean, this is not science fiction. It's still, I mean, the technology is already capable of doing it. It's just how, I mean, sometimes you have to do with regulations, sometimes you have to do with feasibility, but it is not that it is science fiction in the technology. It's feasible.
Not anymore.
No,
not anymore.
Okay. Let us proceed. What do we have more? How will AI impact the need and the level of operators at the feed mill? Also at day one, of course, there were some, let's say, critical questions. If people say, well, it could also be dangerous or harmful for the labor and the staff members. The other hand, then people said, well, yeah, it's just work that you don't want to do anymore. So how do you look at this?
Well, the thing is that, you know, I really like explaining things in a plastic way.
Okay.
So I'll just give a plastic explanation.
There we go.
Again. So when I'm driving my car, the producer is claiming that I can drive my car like this. That's what they're claiming. But still...
Now I know what kind of car you have.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So then it will just follow the line. Everything will be perfect. It will have this adaptive cruise control. Until a certain moment, the engine tells me, put your hand, and it's really imperatively done, put your hand on the steering wheel, or I will stop, basically. So this is what I think that is going to happen regarding operators at the feed mill. You will need always to have an operator.
Yeah.
Period.
Always the human presence will be there, but
Period.
AI, digitization, automation will take over human tasks.
Exactly.
Repetitive tasks, maybe.
Exactly.
But there will always be human presence.
I completely agree upon that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, oh, there we have the lovely ChatGPT. Could that be useful for feed processing?
It's so, I have so many students and they are really bringing such a wonderful texts. It's amazing what really happened this year, last year, and previous year. Previous year, I have seen that there was a student was writing that. I was 100% sure. But now I'm not anymore sure who is writing what.
Yeah.
So I think that...
Or it's the student with a little help.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. So I talked to a student and, I'm going in the same gym with the student, so I hear what they're saying. So what they're saying, basically, oh my God, there are so boring tasks that we have to write. Luckily, there is ChatGPT. But then the other one asked, but you are using everything copy-paste? He said, no, of course not. They would immediately see that I'm using copy-paste. So what do you do? And I was like turned to ear. I was an ear. So they said, well, I copy and paste it. And then I tailor the text upon my language, basically. And then I'm just thinking, well, I think that every student now got their personal secretary, basically.
And there's nothing wrong with that,
There's
actually,
nothing
as
wrong
long
with
as
that.
they are the final...
Exactly. They are having the final touch on this
Yes.
text.
So the questions that they are asking you as a professor, they are asking it themselves. Maybe the formulation was with a little help, but they accorded it.
And the thing is that I see that the educational line or knowledge grasp is much faster, actually.
Oh, really?
Because, once they are without any computer, anything, there is lots of information stuck to their brain.
And we can't ask, of course, well, we can ask, but we won't see the hands of the virtual people. But we can ask here in the great city of Bangkok, who is using ChatGPT here by hand raising? Okay, who is using? Yes. I see some generation thing, I think, yes, but it's used. I mean, at least 25% of the hands went up. None of the speakers? Oh, okay. There. I was already surprised. All right. Since we run out of time for the Q&A, but we will continue talking with you, Dejan. But first of all, I would like to ask Michel Pereira to join us with a big round of applause.